Today's sealed, sloppy, fast track. And you saw it from the start. There was no natural speed horse. Everybody was kind of bunched up. They were all saying, after you, after you. You had 5 or 6 horses kind of contending for that lead. The one that sat right up close, the number 8, Tarantine, wins it.
Yeah, 2 and 4 were having a race of their own over near the inside of the track. Arctic won and Vilpat before number 8 started to work home out wide and has been able to get them Tarantine. Now, there's been a hold all tickets warning issued on the previous race at Louisiana Downs. Stewards have told us hold all tickets. Looked like a fairly clean race. Did they all get away okay, Tone?
Well, as far as I could gather, they did, Matt. So it will be interesting to see what the reason behind all this is.
Certainly the winner hasn't caused any interference. He's out wide on the track and he's been well cleared. Joanne, you've got some news?
No, they're not. The hold all tickets just means that it's a photo finish. We saw very clearly that the number 8 beat out the number 4. But whoever is marking those up on the board, they have a photo finish down. They don't have it official yet that the 8 was the winner. So all the poor people that didn't have the vantage point we've had are sitting out there sweating a photo who has the 2 or the 4. They still think they may have a chance of winning when we clearly saw it was the 8. So hopefully they'll put that up. There it is. 8425, it's unofficial. They always say hold all tickets until it's official. I didn't see anybody bothering anyone, so I don't think there's any need to worry.
No, I think it'll be correct weight too. We're still getting used to the lingo over here. When we hear a hold all tickets, we start to panic. We think that a horse has either stayed in the barrier or something has gone, something unusual has happened during the race that stewards are going to have to investigate. Yes, it's not terminology that we usually use here in Australia when it's a photo finish, hold all tickets. Anyway, Tone, we've got the numbers are down, 8, 4, 2 and 5. On race 8 at Louisiana Downs. Now, at Churchill Downs, it's race 6 for our coverage, but it's race 10, the last event on the Churchill Downs program, and it's coming up in a couple of minutes. Soldier of Fortune 4 to 1, Holding Time 24, Malcolm at 7 to 1, Moonlight Guy 9 to 1, Nice Rides at 19, Stratus is out, Farmer's Best at 3 to 1, and 8 0 Stephen is at 6 to 1. This is one of the bigger fields we've had so far. 8 to 1 for Broad Choice, Sir Ransom at 17 to 1 and Strawberry Wine at 5 to 1, race 6 at Churchill Downs. It's a claiming race over 1 mile as we go to Hollywood Park Live. And Joanne Jones, your thoughts on the last event on the Churchill Downs card? Hello, Joanne.
Well, we're looking at a tough race here, what we would call a wide open race. This is a mile at Churchill Downs, which is out of the chute. Again, a 1-turn mile, so those horses have time to straighten out and make their run without going wide. This is a very, very tough race. You have a late scratching in here, an early scratching of the number 6 Stratus, a late scratching of the number 10 Trick of the Trade, who I thought had a big shot, but something must be wrong with the horse because Willie Martinez took off the horse. They couldn't get anybody to replace him. Very, very difficult race. I think the number 11, Sir Ransom, at a huge price of 15 to 1, looks to have a big shot. The horse had a year and a month off, came back in sort of a prep race with Allowance Company. I'm looking for some improvement, and if Sir Ransom can bounce back to some of that old form around Prairie Meadows and Oaklawn Park, Sir Ransom could be a winner at 15 to 1. Another horse I'm looking at is the number 9 Broad Choice. Looking down at the board, that horse is 9 to 1. Low percent rider in Madrid, which isn't usually a positive. This horse has speed to be up near the lead and strong races at Churchill Downs. The number 5 horse, Nice Ride, 20 to 1 on the morning line. Another huge price here. Running at Hawthorne Park, those Hawthorne races could project to a decent race today, and Hawthorne will be a track at Churchill that will get no respect. The horse is a little one-paced, usually doesn't have a big run at the end, but some of those races could put him right there. And the final horse I'd take a look at would be the rail horse, the 1 Soldier of Fortune, but you've got the rail out of that chute, which is not where you want to be. Burrell is a very good rider. You have 2.5 months off between races. The horse needed the last race, and that should project him to form in the past around Oaklawn Park. That also puts the horse there. So you're looking at huge odds on these, 15, 20 to 1, 9 to 1. I'd say bet all 4 of them to win and see what happens.
All right, Joanne, but you seem most keen on number 11. Tone, just before we get into our race day information, your numbers for race 10?
Race 10, okay, Matt. I've come up with number 7, Farmer's Best, who does have a nice class drop. Hasn't won at Churchill Downs before, but I think with that class drop and on its best form, it must come into contention. And number 12, Strawberry Wine by the great Strawberry Road. This one does love Churchill Downs. He's actually won 5 races there and couldn't come up with a third one, Matt, so I'll stick with 2.
Leave it as 7 from 12 in race 10 at Churchill Downs. We still have 3 more USA races to come, the last at Churchill Downs and then the last 2 from Louisiana Downs. Time for a short break on Trackside USA. Back with some information pertaining to our Australian races this afternoon. That's coming up next.
For Ransom, if he can rebound to those races, especially at Oaklawn Park, could win it at 15 to 1. And also the number 9, Broad Choice, has some really strong races at Churchill Downs, but you know, this is so tough. The 5, Nice Ride, the 1-paced horse that I mentioned earlier, you're looking at 19 to 1. And this is a horse who needed the last race and could rebound back. If you had a gun to my head, I'd probably say go ahead and shoot me. But I might go 9-11, 11-9. Help me out here. Who do you like?
Well, last time we asked Tony, he was quite taken by number 7, Farmer's Best. What do you think, Tone?
Yeah, I'll stick with Farmer's Best, 4-year-old Matt by Farm Away. He was a very tidy horse and, like I said, does have a class drop, so I'll go him. Farmer's Best from number 12, the Strawberry Way horse, Strawberry Wine, and another Aussie connection here with Murray Johnson, again saddling up another runner. Number 2, Holding Time, who is a bit of a roughie, but let's give him a bit of strength, eh?
What's your opinion of Strawberry Wine, Joanne?
Strawberry Wine, very nice horse, but let me get back very quickly to the 7, Farmer's Best. This is a horse who's dropping from allowance races, and that's probably why you see him as the 3 to 1 favorite. But what happened in that last race? The horse ran like garbage, basically, was beaten 11 3/4 lengths, and then a big trot leads you to believe that there might be something really wrong with the horse. You don't run a bad race and, you know, drop for any reason other than usually a problem. So at 3 to 1, I just can't do it, especially in a race that's so wide open. I literally think you can make a case for over half the field in here. Very difficult race to handicap. Strawberry 15 to 1 with as good a shot in there as a 3 to 1. They're off.
Strawberry Wine broke on top from the outside, headed right away by Farmer's Best. The Nice Ride came away racing in 3rd. Moonlight Guy is moving up a closer 4th. Malcolm came away 2.5 off the pace in 5th. Broad Choice is racing in 6th place early. Holding Time is 5 or 6 off the pace in 7th, followed by O. Stephen. And Soldier of Fortune second last by 3, and Sir Ransom at the back of the pack. Up out of the main track, opening quarter, 23 seconds flat. Farmer's Best and Tracy Hebert in front by 1 length now to Strawberry Wine racing in 2nd, and Nice Ride 3rd by ahead. Moonlight Guy is racing in 4th by 2. Malcolm's in 5th place. Broad Choice moves up on the extreme outside. Behind that is Holding Time. Soldier of Fortune inching his way up into contention now on the inside. 2 back to O. Stephen, and a gap of 4 back to Sir Ransom. Starting to bunch up into the turn. The half mile in 46 2/5 seconds. Farmer's Best boots away by 1 1/4 again. To the outside, it's Strawberry Wine. Nice Ride coming through between horses. Broad Choice revs it up nice on the far outside. Along the inside, Soldier of Fortune starts to gain ground. Will need a seam to slip through. Moonlight Guy is right there at the rail. Behind that comes Holding Time, still wide open at the top of the lane. Farmer's Best has been there every step of the way. Broad Choice up the challenge on the outside. Nice Ride next along the inside as Soldier of Fortune tries to get through. Strawberry Wine comes under pressure, and O. Stephen down to the final furlong. Farmer's Best shrugging off the challenge of Broad Choice. Farmer's Best just keeps on going. Broad Choice on the outside, not getting to him. Farmer's Best takes him all the way. Farmer's Best wire to wire, hanging on from Broad Choice. Then Nice Ride 3rd and O. Stephen 4th.
Another very close one at Churchill Downs with the favorite, the 7, Farmer's Best, holding off my long shot, the number 9, Broad Choice, who closed at a very strongly at 13 to 1. It seemed like he started to hang and then he started to surge again, but boy, would that have been a nice exacta. 3 to 1 to a 16 to 1. We'd all be rich.
You're right about that. You were spot on, Tone. Farmer's Best set the speed and has been able to hold off the late challenge from Joanne's tip, the 9 horse.
Yeah, it was keenly contested the last little bit. Interesting to see the jockey changing his whip several times in the straight on the winner, wasn't he?
TJ Herbert, riding for Paul McGeeg, a 4-year-old who's now won 5 races from 23 starts. His last win was 4 runs back on the 20th of March. So 7.95 will be the placings on the 5th event at Churchill Downs. The racing has been very keen there this afternoon. We've seen some tight finishes. I think we've got a margin there, though, in favour of the 7, just ahead of 9 and 5. And that was the last event from Churchill Downs, but we still have racing going from Louisiana Downs. A 10-race card at that venue this morning too, or this afternoon in the USA. So races 9 and 10 are still to come. Now, the next event is a race known as the Fantasia. It's a race for fillies and mares, and there's some pretty handy ones contesting it too. Let's have a look at the latest odds on offer in the States, and Majestic Nelly, and quite a few bracketed runners here too. So Majestic Nelly, Nell's Princess and Perilous Nell, all stablemates, 6 to 1 for the 3 of them. Our Gift is number 2, and then 2B is Our Little Gibby, both 13 to 1. Autobe Pro at 5 to 2. High Hopes Nell, 16 to 1. Sarah's My Angel is at 9 to 2, number 5. Now, Panic Buttons are scratching, but Sizzlin' South, number 7, is very well fancied at 2 to 1. High Mandy at 6 to 1, and Midge 2 is a scratching. It's a 6-furlong race, the 7th at Louisiana Downs, coming up in about a couple of minutes' time.
Doing well at Louisiana, so let's throw it up to the announcer's booth in a moment for Chris Kochelek to give the call, and let's hope he doesn't call a duel up there.
In the Fantasia Stakes. And there they go. Sizzlin' South from between horses goes up towards the lead. High Mandy going with her, also getting away with the front runners. It's Our Gift. That's the first 3. Ought to Be a Pro along the inside in 4th, getting up closer with just to her outside. In 5th position comes Sarah's Angel. On the extreme outside, it's Nell's Princess. She settled back almost 5 from the front. Then it's 2.5 back to Our Little Gibby, and the last horse is High Hopes Nell for the far turn, and Sizzlin' South has the lead and the rail. She leads it by just a neck. High Mandy to the outside in 2nd. Then comes Ought to Be a Pro. She's in 3rd, just 2.5 from the front, and just to her outside in 5th position is Our Little Gibby, who has advanced. Behind those horses, Sarah's My Angel, about 4 from the front, but she's trying to get up closer. They come to the top of the stretch, and Sizzlin' South is just in front, but from the outside, here comes Ought to Be a Pro, and between those horses, High Mandy, Ought to Be a Pro goes up to Sizzlin' South. We'll test these two as they come for home. Ought to Be a Pro to the outside. Sizzlin' South responding along the inside. She has a little something more. Sizzlin' South comes back on. Ought to Be a Pro still right there. Ought to Be a Pro, a nose in front. Sizzlin' South as they race on down to the line. Ought to Be a Pro. Sizzlin' South surging once again from the inside. And it's Sizzlin' South to win it from Ought to Be a Pro. And Sarah's My Angel ran 3rd.
Well, it looked like the number 7, Sizzlin' South, was able to maintain that lead from gate to wire. I don't know what happened to Nell's Princess in there. She obviously didn't handle the track at all, or something else happened in the race, because she was nowhere to be seen from start to finish, taking her game away. The number 3, Ought to Be a Pro, up for a strong 2nd. And there you have it, the number 7, Sizzlin' South, wire-to-wire winner.
Yeah, they had some pressure on him too, Tone, for most of the way, so it was a pretty good performance.
Yeah, good win. The best thing about this, Matt, is that we're seeing very competitive racing, isn't it? Some very tight finishes, and yeah, it just gets the adrenaline flowing at this time of the morning.
Yeah, no, she's going really well. That's a 7th win from 12 starts, with a minor placing on top of that as well. So a 3-year-old filly by a Corking Limerick out of Icelandic Dancer, trained by Glenn Dallahousse and, as you say, James Avant. Well, he was certainly capable in that. He's been able to keep it going down to the line to take the 7th at Louisiana Downs. And rolling on to 3rd. Did you get 3rd there? I think it was 7 from 3, Tone.
No, I didn't pick it up, mate. That is a 3rd win in 4 starts there at Louisiana Downs, the winner. She likes the track.
Yeah, she does go well, and she can obviously handle that rain-affected going. Looking a little bit muddy out there now.
They're still running terrific times, though. It's vastly different to out here, isn't it? They get a bit of rain. Doesn't make any difference. They still run the time.
Doesn't slow them down.
Nope.
All right, Sizzlin' South taking race 9 at Louisiana Downs. And we've just got the one race to go, but we've got a bit of a break until that last event at Louisiana Downs. Race 10 is coming up at about 3 or 4 minutes past 10 Eastern, Sydney time. So it's probably a little bit too early to look ahead to the final event at Louisiana Downs. We'll return to our USA coverage within the next 10 or 15 minutes' time. And on that previous race too, I can tell you that number 5 has got third after the photo. Sarah's My Angel is racing very well. So 7, 3 and 5 are the official placings on race 9 at Louisiana Downs. This time next week, we could well be wagering on them with the New South Wales TAB and other TABs that may join the coverage to commence betting next Saturday. Well, if you were around in the 1960s, you'd probably remember a pretty good sprinter by the name of Eyeliner. We've got the Eyeliner Stakes coming up at Ipswich next week, named in honour.
First-time starter will try and get out there on the lead with the 2 proven speed horses, the 7 Power Strategy and the 9 Veet. So they're moving in. Why don't we send it up to the announcer's booth at Louisiana Downs to Chris Kochulek.
At 3 o'clock all summer long. It's a great opportunity for you to come on out, enjoy racing after work, and we encourage you to do it again next Friday. And once again, post time will be at 3 o'clock. And if you haven't already done so, try our Fridays in the Sky promotion. A great value and a tremendous amount of fun on the 4th floor in the Sky Room here at Louisiana Downs. Just a few more to load up and we'll be ready for a start. Two to load. One to load. They're all in line. And there they go. Power Strategy just in front to the inside, Key Evidence, and also right there it's across the threshold. Now from the outside, Phone Force moves up with the front runners, and it's Power Strategy, Phone Force, and Key Evidence, the first 3. Chasing after them, up into 4th position now is Hattie's Boy, 4th, just 2 from the front. Brute Force along the inside, right there in 5th position. Far outside, Veet in 6th. He'll go 5 wide through that turn perhaps. Then across the threshold, drops back. Bad Moon on the rise is dropping back. Swiss Celebrity at the back of the pack with Sir Wormy. Less than 3 furlongs to run, and from the inside, Key Evidence comes once again. Power Strategy now beginning to back out of it. Hattie's Boy sweeps up to the outside, and Hattie's Boy is in hand and making the lead effortlessly out of the turn into the stretch. Hattie's Boy has gained the lead. It's Hattie's Boy. Key Evidence is back into 2nd, followed by Brute Force and Power Strategy. Running on late, but not to jeopardize the leaders across the threshold. They come to the 16th pole. Hattie's Boy has not yet put away Key Evidence, and Key Evidence comes right back on. These two ding-dong to the wire, but it's Hattie's Boy to win it. Hattie's Boy at 4 to 5 under the line from Key Evidence. Power Strategy.
Well, how much the best do you have to be? Hattie's Boy breaks slowly, gets rushed up to that lead, goes wide on the turn, is skittish, lugging in and out down the stretch, and still wins. They knew they had a nice horse, judging from that opening money on her, and boy, was he a nice horse. Hattie's Boy the winner, the 6th Key Evidence 2nd, and that's it from Louisiana Downs. We'll hopefully get all the bugs out of things by next week so that we can all hear each other and see each other well. But we'll see you next week from Hollywood Park.
Yes, well, next Saturday is going to be pretty important for us here in Australia too, Joanne, because I believe our TABs will be commencing betting here in Australia on these races from the USA. So you always do the form very thoroughly, but make sure you're right on song for next Saturday, because that's when we're going to need plenty of help. 4 from 6 tone, another great go, another terrific finish.
Yeah, he looks pretty tidy horse, doesn't he? First time out.
Yeah.
Won it on raw ability, Matt.
Well bred, and but punters didn't let him get under their guard in the USA because he was very well supported, wasn't he?
That's right. He did get the blows though, didn't he? 9's on to 5 to 4 on.
Yeah. All right, 4, 6 and 7 will be the placings. Power Strategy number 7. That's a first placing for that 3-year-old colt, but for the winner. Ridden, trained by Dale and Gill. Well, that just about winds up USA Racing for today. Trackside USA. Joanne Jones at Hollywood Park as we go to you. Thanks for your contribution. We look forward to chatting with you next Saturday. Okay, and we'll have Joanne on board next Saturday from Hollywood Park. Again, we'll be covering these meetings from Churchill Downs and Louisiana Downs. Thanks, Tone.
Yeah, it was good fun again, wasn't it, Matt?
It seems like what's been a pretty good day for favourites too. Hopefully that, you know, the fancied runners will be getting up next Saturday.
Yeah, well, that's right. The form tends to pan out, and as we mentioned, very competitive racing, some tight finishes there. So, yeah, up we go next week, eh?
Yeah, see you during the week too for Inside Running on Sky. That's it for Trackside USA. Thanks for being with us. We'll be back very soon with Inside Running.